Supreme Leader Snoke. Okay, so everybody's given their theories, and everybody has a theory. It seems like there's been multitude of people on YouTube, multitude of people on every other forum giving their opinions, and I'm gonna give mine of who I think he is. Now I'm gonna go ahead and discredit a few theories that have been floating around. I don't think it's Darth Vader in any form. We see Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens talking to the helmet, saying, "Show me the way, show me the path to the dark side," or something along those lines. Why wouldn't he just go talk to Snoke if that wasn't the case? Why would he take the time to talk to the helmet, you know? Um, so I discounting that that's not who it is in any way. Even though there are a bunch of similarities with the facial features, I get that the scar's in the same place. It just doesn't make any sense for that to be Supreme Leader Snoke. Um, One other one I'm gonna discredit is Leia. That's been one that's been going around for a little bit now. Is that Queen General Leia? Excuse me. Sorry, Leia. Don't come after me, please. Uh, is that she is Snoke, based on the fact that if there was a video where you can morph the face of her just a little bit and it's the same structure. Don't give that any credit either. I don't know why you would. I could see where you could devise that theory very easily through a bunch of, weaves in and outs of stuff story wise. I don't think that's the case. I definitely don't think that's the case in this instance. Um one Now I'm gonna get to those. Those are the two that I've discredited in my opinion. I'm gonna get to some that I think could be, but I'm not really sure. Thrawn. I've been thinking, I've heard a lot of Thrawn for Rogue One. I've heard a lot of Thrawn with, that's, everybody's favorite character. And, I don't necessarily know if it would be a, you know, actual replica of that incarnation of Thrawn. It could be a different one and then just take little things away from him and maybe a legendary, Sith master and kind of combine them, combine the two, just take some things and maybe make a new original character out of those two. That would be very interesting. It would also make the story in the Star Wars universe that much bigger instead of making it condensed and make us feel a little bit smaller. I like that theory a lot. Not necessarily that it's Thrawn, but a Thrawn type character that is a Force user. I like that. I like that idea. I don't know if that's who it is. I don't think that's what that is. So that's probably in the back of my head the most. That would be very surprising and very cool at the same time. The other one is that I've seen one going around that it's Luke, and it can't be Luke. It's not Luke. No way is that Luke. Why would he be? Well, why? No. So I just want to throw that out there too. The other one is that it's Plagueis. And I'm gonna say this one before the next one because I want to get this one out of the way first because this is who I think it is. I think it's Plagueis for a multitude of reasons, but I do not think it's Plagueis in a human or moon. I think that's how they pronounce it. Moon. I don't think it's actually in a body. I think that's his spirit or a projection of his Force ghost, Sith Force ghost, if you will. I think all this time he's been laying dormant. I think at the right time he started to gain momentum, gain troops. He started to actually acquire different things to make his vision of an army a reality. And then I think he gained an apprentice so that he could actually become reality eventually as well once Kylo Ren starts to become more mature, starts to actually gain control on his body is at its peak. I feel like that is when Plagueis will come into effect, take over Kylo Ren, and essentially want to take over the universe as one of the greatest Sith Lords of all time. I feel like that theory works, especially with, I don't have the quote in front of me, but Han saying that Snoke is just going to use you, or Leia might have said that. Snoke is just going to use you, and then he's going to throw you away, or something along those lines. It really makes me think of that he's just there to use his body and take control of his body to take control of the universe. That makes more sense. I like that idea. Again, it will expand. It won't make, condense everything and make it all smaller. Just because you are adding this huge mythological figure in Plagueis, and you have so many more options to bring out with that storyline, and that would be fantastic to see that brought to the big screen after all this time of just reading it in books and fan theories, and it would be fantastic to see that on screen finally after so many times and after being alluded to in Revenge of the Sith. Now, my other one, and this is the one that I don't like, is Palpatine. I don't like that because it makes everything smaller, and it would make a little bit of sense, and I say a little bit because it makes a very, very minute little sense. I don't want it to be Palpatine. One, because it does make the story a lot smaller, condenses everything, and it makes Darth Vader seem really weak. Um, and of course, you could also say that, well, if you bring Plagueis back, it makes Palpatine look weak. Well, no, it really doesn't, because essentially he did do his job in the Sith Rule of Two and taking his master's life. He did that, and all this time, because Plagueis has waited and he's actually gained the power, the momentum. He's coming back, but not at his original form, as something else. So I feel like you can't really use that, but I don't think it can be Palpatine, because even though we've seen people throw down shafts before, aka Darth Maul, and they've come back, I just don't think you can bring that big of a character back and just wipe everything away with just no explanation, or just, oh, he survived. You really can't, because that was such an essential story arc of the original trilogy. You can't really do that. And you can also say the same thing about Darth Maul, because people have been saying that Darth Maul could be it. I don't think it's Darth Maul. I think we will see Darth Maul. I think we'll see his life being taken by either a Darth Vader or B, Palpatine, in one of the cartoon shows. I think Rebels, essentially. I think that's when we'll see that, if not maybe in a book. Yeah, I think that's where we'll see that, the end of his story, because it doesn't make sense for that, because he wasn't as great as Palpatine was, and then you take how great Palpatine was and you multiply that by 100 and you get Plagueis, because there's so much they can expand upon with Plagueis that it just makes everything more interesting. And I know that's the general consensus, is that it's Plagueis, it's Plagueis, it's Plagueis, and that's kind of the boring answer now, I think. And that's, well, you're saying the same thing. Yes, but just think about that when you actually see that on the screen, when you're actually witnessing that for the first time, and you grasp that idea. I can't even fathom that idea, actually, because there's a multitude of different ways it can go down, and that is the most interesting storyline I think they could actually have. Besides, of course, who Rey's parents are, and, well, we'll find out who the baby daddy is soon. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's Plagueis? Do you think it's Palpatine? Do you think it could be somebody from Rogue One that we haven't even thought about? From the original trilogy, could it be anybody? I mean, could it be Obi-Wan Kenobi? Who knows? Let me know below, and let me know what you think. This is what I love about Star Wars, is that it's such an opinionated franchise, and all the topics are so out there to where there's so many multiple different theories, and even the littlest, tiniest sliver of a different part of that theory can be expanded upon. And I love that aspect of Star Wars, and I love Star Wars as a whole. I'm a huge fan, just like all of you are. So let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. I love talking about Star Wars any time of the day, every day of the week. So thank you guys so much for watching again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It really helps me out a bunch, and I really do appreciate y'all watching, as always, and I will see you next time.